It would only make for laughter in heaven. You don't need to be bigger. You just need a bigger view of Him. Bigger view of Him. There's a text in Matthew 16:18. Jesus promised, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overpower it. This verse, I feel like, on one hand, it's been, if not misinterpreted, that all the marrow hasn't been taken out of it. And what I mean by that is people always look at this defensively. When hell comes against the church will survive. I have talked to theologians who read far better than I do, and I have found a common ground with many of them in this matter. I don't think this is to be interpreted primarily defensively. I think it's to be interpreted offensively. That in the advance of the Great Commission and the advance of the church, not even the gates of hell will be able to withstand it, but the church, in the power of the Holy Spirit and by the power of the Word, will thrash those iron gates and then spoil the elect that are within sight. This is offensive. Men, don't you feel something, men? Don't you feel in this a reason to be alive? We were made for this. We long to give ourselves for something. I live in Virginia, where many prominent events occurred in the history of our nation. Last week I was in Williamsburg preaching. And I think of the brilliance of some of those men. I think of the bravery of some of those men. I think of all the things they did and all the things they accomplished. And yet now the kingdom they built is disintegrating, deformed and twisted and dislocated. But you, man, and me, and you, lady, we get to give our time, our talents, our resources, our lives, everything we have for a kingdom that will never crumble, and an incorruptible king. This is what sovereignty means to me. This is what sovereignty means to me. And it was my wife that taught me. Came home from church one time and she looked at me and she goes, she does that a lot. She goes, you reform guys, you walk around so sad and worried all the time. It seems to me that you believe God is sovereign only with regard to salvation and nothing else. It seems in our culture, doesn't it? It seems in our culture that we're surrounded and the darkness is growing. In first century darkness, there's an opportunity to live a first century Christianity. One of the most decorated, if not the most decorated generals in Marine history is a General Puller. And I love this quote. So him and his men are surrounded. I mean, they are surrounded. And this is what he said. He looked at his men, he goes, but kind of, like excited. He said, all right then. They're on the left. They're on the right. They're in front of us. They're behind us. They can't get away this time. They can't get away this time. I want to give you two of my favorite quotes with regard to this interaction between Christ and his men. David Brown wrote, what must have been the feelings which such a commission awakened? We conquer the world for thee, Lord, who have scarce conquered our own misgivings. We fishermen of Galilee with no letters, no means, no influence over the humblest creature? Nay, Lord, do not mock us. And then the Lord responds, I mock you not, nor send you to warfare on your own charge. All authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go ye therefore. Lo, I am with you always, all the days. Go ye therefore. John Trapp wrote this, Go in my strength as Gideon did against the Midianites. And though but a barley cake, coarse and contemptible, yet shall ye overthrow the world's tents.